So I just realized I just got cut off. It's still Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. um, I'm just still puttering here, so I thought I can at least say sorry about that. I got cut off, and I can finish what I'm doing. I put the front end paper in. I'm going to put glassine over this, but I have to put the back end paper in. So we might as well do that together. I'm just going to clip these pages here so that they don't flop on me while I'm working. Let's see. Ah, yes, I am in camera. Good. Of course, where did I put the... Ah, there it is. Back up. Do I have all the sides? I had to trim it because I always make my end pages a little bit wider than I need, and then I do the final cut before it goes in. So I'm happy with that. All right, let's do this now. Just want to make sure that that is working. Here we go. I hate sounding repetitive, but if somebody's new here and wondering, what's she using, why is she doing it, then for the regulars, you lovely, wonderful people who are here every morning listening to me, you have to listen to me over and over again. But anyhow, here I go. For those of you who don't know, I always use either 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac to glue in end papers because it's acetone based and you won't get the buckling that you often will get with a water-based glue. So this happens to be 3-in-1, but I will use either one. I can't tell the difference. Frankly, I think they're the same glue and we just don't know it. And I think Beacon knows the secret to whether it's actually the same glue or not. Sure seems the same to me. It smells the same, works the same, behaves the same, but doesn't cost the same. Usually 3-in-1 is less. At least where I live, it's less. I'm here in Canada, so don't know. Now here's where I will use my little bundles of fabric and just put some clips on for just a minute or so while it's drying. It doesn't take long to dry. I especially like to put it over where I have glued in if I'm doing ties. And then I find that the corners, it's nice to give the corners a little bit of extra oomph while it dries. It's looking like we still have 2 more weeks of shutdown. Well, we come this far, so I've waited this long. I can wait 2 more weeks if it means that maybe we're over this. That'd be lovely. Well, let's use this one. And we'll do one more. There we go. I'm going to use you actually on the end here. And then I'll use a not so strong here. That gets in the way. That'll be enough to give that a little pressure. All right, and for here I've got a fun thing that I want to put in. Where is it? Where'd it go? And I've lost it. I've got a library pocket to put there. Is it in my basket? Oh, it's in the basket. I've got a library pocket. I have an art book on the work of Toulouse-Lautrec. I used to think Toulouse-Lautrec, that his first name was Toulouse and his last name was Lautrec. And it's not. His name was Henri-Marie Raymond de Toulouse-Lautrec. Please pardon my poor pronunciation. So Toulouse-Lautrec was actually his full last name, like the way we say Picasso or Van Gogh. So Toulouse-Lautrec. Something we little things, right? It's the little things. Anyhow, I have a tea-dyed library card, thanks to my friend Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. And this was ripped out of the book on Toulouse-Lautrec. So this is actually the real deal. It's not a replica that's been made, because they're very easy to make. And I'm not opposed to doing that as well as just creating a library pocket. But this one actually really is. So I think I'm going to put that there. But not yet. I'm toying with the idea of backing it onto something. Anything that might be a little bit tougher. Maybe even just paper. And gluing it in this way so that it could also be a pocket like that. It's nice to have pockets in the fronts and backs of books. So that's why I haven't glued it in yet, because I want to think about that before I make that decision. But otherwise, I've got to go through and put some little things. I don't like sending empty pockets out in a journal. So even if I just tuck in some tea-dyed paper, I like to have something in pockets. So I have to figure out where all the pockets are. Cute, eh? That's from a really old Monopoly game that my daughter found for me at the garbage dump. And it's not as bad as that sounds. And she was up in cottage country, and the dump up there actually has a shed where if you've taken something to the dump that actually is pretty good and you think someone might like it, you can put it in the donate shed, and then people are welcome to go in, and if they see something they like, just take it. And there was a really, really old, obviously someone was cleaning out a cottage for sale or for whatever reason, and there was a full game of Monopoly, and I believe it was 1952, I believe. It was a really old one. Anyhow, so that's from that really old Monopoly game that was at the dump. It's nice when your stuff has a story. That's the whole point behind these journals, I think. Oh, there's another one of the... talk about a story. So this is from Dave's Kitchen. So this came across the ocean because he lives in England. And I love it. I think it looks nice. And again, another one of those little tags with the pens, with the pen nib up there. I hope I'm in the camera. Now I did a few other things. I made a paper ruffle. I've got to come up with something to put in my two little empty peekaboo pockets. And I'm not sure yet. I think I'm going to have to, I didn't consider the size. And I think I'm going to have to, you know what, that would be a good size. Just so that I know how big to make the tag. Gosh, I'm happy with how this turned out. For this, again, we're just chattering here. You know, I hope you're having your morning coffee or your morning tea. And imagine we're sitting at the kitchen table. To do this, I mentioned Nick the Booksmith sometimes will have this turn out when she layers Mod Podge and soaks her papers in tea. And when I saw it, I thought I can do that. I can replicate that. And I did using this piece. I just laid it down and I just, with my Distress ink. But you can tell it's not going to let me do that very often. It's just a thin little piece of paper. So I did something. Here, let me show you what I did. We have show and tell day today. It's show and tell. I found a piece of chipboard that I have, and I cut it to the right size so it's the correct width, and then I laid this down and I literally just chomped through and made myself a nice sturdier template so that if I want to do this again and just lay it on paper, I'll be able to. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to keep that with my stencils, and that way I don't have to worry. So I'll still get use out of this because it looks cool. Anything else here? Tuck spot here, so I'm going to have to put maybe some tea-dyed paper in there. This might be my favorite deck of vintage playing cards that I have. It was double deck. There's also pink roses for the other deck, but I just love the yellow roses with that black background. I just think it looks beautiful. And then there's that, and the cute little friends there with the wagon, and some more fun fake cellophane tape. That color, I made that one with the latte colored ink. So I rather like that shade. I think all three shades that I have work. I have ginger, I have latte, and I have caramel. And I think all three work fine to make cellophane tape. Actually, this one is real. So that's actually been peeled off of something. I forget what I peeled that off of. That's real. Anyhow, I think all three work very well. There's our little pockets that we made earlier in the previous video that I got cut off. Right here, this little one. So I probably put this one into the Journeys into Bookland. Oh, I'm tongue-tied today. That was a tongue twister. So, oh, there's another pen nib here. Initially, I was going to put little fabric tabs throughout this book, but then I really had such a strong feeling of not wanting matchy-matchy for this book, and I switched them out. I didn't want them. So this is, it feels nice. It's a nice size. Lovely balance here of room for writing or collaging or whatever it is that people choose to do. This is from Sears Roebuck 1908, the reprint. It was just a leftover. I was using the illustrations of ladies in hats, but I just thought that's still so cool. And I tossed it into my little bin of black and white odds and ends, and so it got used this time. I didn't have, there was no Evangeline listed in this particular, this was the Universal Book of Knowledge this page is out of. I wondered whether it would have Evangeline in it or not. If it was a Canadian book, it would. But it did have Evangelical and Evangelical Alliance. So I thought, well, that's an evangelist. So, you know what? That's as close as Evangeline's going to get to having her name in here. I want to figure out something to do with these two. And I think I want to put it on this page where it says Angel of the Darker Drink. And of course, these two are, and I'm seeing quite a few darker drinks here with that kiss in the booth, that stolen kiss in a booth. So I've been trying to decide. I backed it onto a larger index card. You know what? I don't even know what time it is. I turned off my... What a day I'm having. Oh, I'm only at 14 minutes. Okay. I'm going to keep talking. Anyhow, I backed it onto this to maybe make it look like a Polaroid, but I don't particularly like it. And I think I'm going to cut the edge off. And I think I'm just going to make a little tuck spot here. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it while we're here. Yeah, I didn't like the, it just doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. So let's take that off. I have no idea what to make for dinner tonight. I think I maybe make little homemade mini pizzas. We'll make little thin pizzas on tortillas. And we just put a little bit of sauce and a little cheese. And I like just veggie pizza. And Sweetie Pie likes, he usually either likes pepperoni as well, or he likes bacon as well. Yeah. I'm leaning towards that. You know me, that edge, it's gotta go dark. I made some new Toonana bookmarks. I was out of Toonana bookmarks, and they're always different. Every time I make them, they're different. So I made some new ones. Where are they? That's how I had the chipboard out. I did these ones on chipboard, and I'm really happy. They're really thick and tough. And I put old music on the back, and some of them, that one's twisty. I think 3 are twisty, yeah, and 1 is straight. So I don't put the string in until I know the book it's going into, so that in case if there's a color theme, that will determine what color the string will be for in the Toonana's bookmark. Now I've got to decide, of course, and I've already inked. I'm trying to decide whether maybe I want to do rounded corners on this. And I think I do. So I'm going to have to re-ink anyway, so that's okay. Where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. So re-ink. I think this little couple is the perfect kissy couple to have on the page for Angel of the Darker Drink. Maybe it's like Jamaican rum, or Irish whiskey, or brandy. Oh my! Maybe I can find a cheeky word snippet to put down there. There's not a lot of word snippets in Evangeline, and maybe she needs a word snippet. So I want this in here. I always 2 times with Evangeline, pardon me, I have glued the wrong corners for corner pockets, corner tuck, 2 times. So I double checked with this, with the kissy couple. There. I like that. They look like they're in a bar, and I don't know. I keep looking at her, and she looks like she works in a bar. She looks like a saloon girl. I don't think her outfit looks modest enough for her to actually be a house servant. But it's nice. You know, she's got lace on there. She's got a nice necklace. So maybe an upper scale haunt of sorts. I don't know. I've searched high and low on Google to try and find out if there's a story behind that painting, and there isn't. There's a story. The artist who did this, John Edward Millais. Anyhow, he did a famous painting that really shocked the church. So if you felt like looking it up, you should, because it's actually quite a lovely painting. And it's a picture of It's a painting of Christ as a child. What's it called? The Christ child in his parents' home. And he portrayed Christ just as a regular child in a home where work is being done and where there's his parents and siblings. And at the time that he painted this painting, apparently they were horrified that Christ had not been portrayed in a regal and royal and son of God kind of way, and that he was being portrayed as a human child. And I love when there's scandals like that, because to me as a parent it makes perfect sense that he would have a boyhood rather than a little prince. So happy with this. Love the tapes. Yeah, I think we're good now. I've got to go through and put some tea-dyed papers in the pockets. I want to figure out where I've got to find the other front pages. I think I mentioned in the previous video that the front pages, whatever front pages I didn't use, come on, where are you, front pages? There's one. There's a few more of these, of the other titles, and I'm going to send them along. So whoever chooses to adopt Evangeline will get more. So you can make tags out of them, or maybe you can simply just glue them in. You can insert them the way you would a plate and glue them in as an extra page. It's up to you, whatever you want. Gosh, I love these crooked pages. I just love how random that feels, that it's in sideways or askew. I love it. Really, really happy. This is when you get a Sunnyside journal, you usually get a little bit of Wishes and Weeds. Nancy sent me some of her beautiful paper. She spoils me. I just love her. It's just impeccable. Let me hold it up so you can see. Look how beautiful that is. Gosh, she does beautiful work. So I did a little bit of lace edging on it with my chunker. And then there's a little secret journaling spot back there on this flashcard. And a little bit of music that I used to make the fold. So yeah. All right, you know what? I wanted to come back on. Oh, I'm dropping things on the floor here. I wanted to come back on and explain where I went because I got cut off. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining me and spending time with me. And we will talk soon. Probably the next time I do a video will probably be the flip through of Evangeline here. She's pretty well ready to go. I'm quite sure I'll have her ready by tomorrow. But I got to make my decision about, I got to decide what I'm going to do with this. I really like that. All right. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.